Alright everyone, we're going to focus on animating the breast. Now the reference material that is we'll be utilizing this image here. This image is from the Richard Williams Survival Kit, and it shows you how hair would operate. It shows you how the breast would operate at certain key poses. So we're going to examine these carefully and see how we can apply them to the character rig. Now, this pose here is the down position, and when the character is in the down position, you notice that the breast rotate upwards. When the character is in the passing position, the breast go down. But for our exercise, we're going to utilize, so we're going to put instead of having the breast go fully down on the parting position, we're going to have it on the up position. So let's go over back to our character rig. Frame 5 is the down position, and we're going to utilize the breast controls here. So we'll select both of them, hold by holding on shift to select both of them, and we can move them up and down. We don't only just want to move them up and down, we want to have rotation as well. So they will rotate like that. So the down position, we're going to move it down, and we're going to rotate it slightly. Now we don't want it to be too exaggerated because it will look as if the breasts are moving on their own. We want the breast to be accompanied by the up and down movement of the body when she walks. So we'll have the first one where the breasts go down. The reference material says that on the passing position, the breast go up, but we're not going to, because I want it to have more time to come up, so I'm going to do it on the up position, which is at frame 13. I still have both breasts selected with, as you can see, they're both selected. Still move them up a little bit, and then you just rotate them up. So it's an upward movement vertically, and it's rotating upwards as well. We're going to go to the other down position, which happens at 21. Go to our move tool and move them down slightly, and then rotate them downwards a bit. Then we're going to go to the other up, which happens at 29. Move it upwards a bit and rotate them up in that direction. So let us play and see what we have happening here. So we can see that we have movement happening on the breast. Right now she doesn't have her shirt on, but if we turn on the shirt layer, we can see how the cloth interacts with the breast. So we can see the movement happening. So press play. So it looks a bit sudden right here. It comes up like that. And this looks a bit too exaggerated, but later what sometimes you have to tone down the key poses that you put on the breast so that they don't look over exaggerated. What we're going to do, right, frame number 5. We're going to get rid of frame number 9 and delete that. So that way it will transition better from frame. So we've deleted frame number 9, and that will create an easier transition. Now we're at 13 and we want to go from 13. It will only delete the keyframes for the breast controls. It won't trouble any other controls on the character rig, because we just have the breast selected and we deleted the keyframes on the breast control. So from 13 to 17, it quickly transitions to this mid position here. We're going to get rid of keyframe number 17 so that when we're moving from 13, it will take its time to transition all the way to 21, which has it in the down, the breast hanging down. We want to get rid of keyframe 17, and that will create a smoother transition with it coming down. Now from 21 to 25, it comes up. The distance between, the reason why we're deleting the keyframes here is that to extend the time it takes to move. So it comes up slower from 21 to 29. So 29 is when it's up in the air, the breaths are up here. 21 is when they are down at the extreme. 25 is a mid position. But the problem with having this keyframe here is that it moves quickly. So it kind of cuts the timing down a bit. So we want a smoother transition. So we get rid of 25. So that you see that there's a slight adjustment on the breast so that it comes up smooth. So let's play it to see what we have so far. The transition is a bit smoother. However, I think that the key poses are a bit too extreme. So we're going to tone it down a bit. What we're going to do? Alright, I think that the up position is a bit too much. Maybe if we take off some of the rotation and maybe just move it down a bit. So when you're doing your posing, you have to look at your character and determine if it is too much or if it looks too exaggerated, and you have to tone it down. So down. Oh, this one is a bit too extreme. Put it down a bit and rotate it down a bit. So you're going to use your discretion to determine whether it's too much. I'm gonna press the play button. That looks a bit smoother right there. Now we've established the vertical movement of the breast, so they move up and down, and because they're round, they have some kind of rotation happening on them. However, when you walk, or when especially with you, when you walk, you move your shoulders in a rotation, in a particular rotation. So, for example, when she's walking, there'll be some kind of rotation, like in this direction. So some kind of rotation is happening here, and then there's another rotation happening on this side here. So let me see if I can just do a quick thing. So if I click here, click this is the control we're going to utilize to get. We want to put a rotation like this on it. Well, not exaggerated like that, but the upper torso will rotate in that fashion. So what I use to determine this is whenever the pelvis is tilted in this direction, the waist will be tilted in the opposite direction. No, the upper body will be tilted in the opposite direction like that. Another thing to use to mark it as well, another marker that you can use to determine which side the shoulder should rotate is when this hand is in front, the shoulder tilts over onto this side like that. So, that is what we use. We can also see this in the reference material as well. Go to one closer. So, alright, so let's look at this here. Back a bit. Notice that when this hand is in front, this side of the butt, the shoulder comes forward, this side goes back. Now we're going to observe this hand when it comes forward. When this hand comes forward, this side of the shoulder rotates forward, this side rotates back. So it's like when this hand is in front, it rotates over onto this side here. So I'm going to go to each of the main contact poses. So like right now we're on frame 1, so we have a slight tilt over in that direction. We're going to go to frame 17. And on frame 17 we realize that this hand is in front, and so we just tilt that over into that direction. Go to frame 33, which has the other extreme. This hand is in front, tilt that. And also, remember that it's also a counterbalance to the waist, because the pelvis is in that direction. So the pelvis is going in that direction, and the waist, the upper body is going in that direction. Right. So let's see what we have so far. We have the rotation occurring on the upper body. However, when she's moving from frame 1 to 5, you realize that it straightens back. So it instantly straightens back. We don't want it to straighten back immediately at frame 5 on the down position. So because this hand is still in front, and because this pelvis is still tilted that way, we're going to still tilt the body over in that direction slightly, so that she doesn't straighten back immediately. Now realize that both hands are at the side, so we can leave frame number 9 where the both are at the side. 13, this hand is starting to come forward. We can just kind of move that over a bit. Move that over. So you have a nice transition there. Let's go to 21. From here, still have a little tilt over here. 25, we'll leave that one. 29, and I tilt it over a little like that, and into that. So what we'll end up having, we're having a rotation. So the breasts, so if you look closely, the breasts are moving up and down, and because of the rotation of the upper torso, they're moving left and right. So multiple things are happening to create that complex movement to make it look more realistic. Now, another movement that we need to capture is the shoulder movement. So we have the shoulder movement rotating around her like that, but we want to have like more of a vertical movement of the shoulders as well, rotating on an arc. This is where the principle of arc comes in. So she's rotating, so there's a rotation happening here. We've already done the rotation happening around like that. So we're going to now establish that rotation. So when we look at the reference material, realize that I'm always going back to the reference material. We can see that there is a tilt in the shoulder right here in this direction. So the shoulder tilts, so at some point the shoulder tilts in this direction, at another point it tilts in the other direction. Based on my observations from the reference material, we're going to utilize the shoulder controls. Here, these are the two shoulder controls. We're going to utilize them to rotate the arm, the shoulder.